But the multi-rig, which firstly we have to thank Mr. Kavanagh for, or should I call it the tubed multi-rig? Now, how much of a difference do you think that the shrink tubing makes, Jules?
Well, the thing is, again, if we go back to all those early questions you asked me, we come up with an answer, and then we come up with the question to fit the answer.
Yeah.
All I would say is that when I originally used the multi-rig, as Mike showed it with me, and it was fine, it worked great. And bit by bit, I just, fine-tuned it. And, from the original multi-rig, which Mike showed me, and I've written about a few times, I found that I got more takes or more action by overshotting it. I got more takes with a sharper nut by angling the bit of shrink tube at 45 degrees, the tubing. I got more takes. Now, I can't scientifically give you an answer, and nobody can. And we can give you all sorts of bull, but I know that all these little bits seem to catch me more carp. You can't say I would have caught 92 and I've caught 400. All I can say is that whenever I've used it, I've never felt that it's cost me fish. And the more I've fine-tuned it with various components, I've got more and more successful. And it works for me. That hook point off the bottom of the lake, that is eternally fishing until you wind it in. And that, if you watch the Corda DVDs, it wasn't that the carp weren't sampling the hook bait. It's that when the carp sampled the hook bait and the hook, they were getting rid of it. And if you watch carp move on the bottom, the amount of movement they create, degree balance pop-ups are all over the place. If you have a super sharp hook, you anchor it with an overshotted weight, you put it out of the way of other things. To me, it's angles that confuse the carp. People, there is no answer, because if you got the 20 most successful carp anglers or well-known carp anglers, they'd all be on different rigs. And if there was a best rig, we'd all be on the same one. It's like Formula One. If you said to the 20 drivers, what car and setup do you want? In all likelihood, they pick one. But with carp fishing, we all use different. I look at some of carp anglers' rigs and think, wow, you must be a good carp angler, because I do not know how that works. And I'm sure they must think the same thing of me. It's confidence. The more you catch on it, the more confident you are. And I've never heard anybody tell me that when they've copied the multi-rig as I tie it up, they've caught less carp. But they need to tie it up as I tie it. The only time I get people saying it doesn't work for me, I say, did you copy it as I said? And then they say, oh, well, no, I couldn't get that hook, I couldn't get that tubing, I couldn't get that braid. I decided to use a 20mm pop-up. And I think, no. It's the little percentages. When I fished with Andy Little, he taught me that. I went fishing with Andy Little, and he would catch 20 carp, and I would catch 7. And I looked and thought, he's doing 6, 7, 8, 9 things slightly better than I am. His hooks were sharper or smaller. His braid was thinner. His main line was finer. His rods were pointed at, and I knew it wasn't luck. And when I watched what he did, I realised that all these little bits added up. So I was fishing at 70% and he was fishing at 90%. And over the course of a day or a week or a month, that adds up. So to me, the tube multi-rig is, well, it catches me a lot of carp. And when it stops doing it, I'll use something else.